So like give like
Yeah, there's like a soap factory in Palestine. Reason this is so big, in case you're wondering why are we talking about a soap factory, like early 30 years ago, nearly in the 90s, they had about 40 of these factories. Today, there's only three, and it's mainly because of Israel and the border crisis which they're having now. They're literally regulating the trade and also the economy of the Palestinians, which has affected a lot of their industry. So it really just speaks more into the earlier we talked about with the UAE Israel deal where Palestine was left out. One of the reasons why this deal was so crucial for Palestine to be included in it because it actually helped their economy.
yeah. Yeah, apparently like there's someone like someone in Oslo that had nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize for that deal. Which
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it.
he's not gonna get it because like
No, it's a very rigorous process.
Hitler and Mussolini were one time nominated, or at one point nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. So like yeah, all the matter, a whole assortment of characters have been nominated for that prize that don't deserve it. I'd say even Obama, who did get it, I don't think deserved it. I
No,
would
because
say
his policy is toward the Middle East and
if
foreign
yeah,
affairs.
if you've ordered a drone strike, then you don't deserve a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, he was very similar to that of George Bush.
Yeah, I mean, like I'd still say George Bush was 10
He was
times worse than Obama.
yeah. But I was
I'd
saying,
I'd say Bush is worse than Trump in many aspects. But yeah, yeah, point made. Uh, Um, yeah, so like yeah, it wasn't like you know these like olive oil like soap factories in Palestine aren't like they one of like the biggest sources of like isn't that like what most of the Palestinian economy is based on these days?
that's part of it, but it does like provide a lot of jobs and like generational income and wealth for many people. Yeah, it does affect their economy.
Yeah, so like and a lot of these so like how many did they have like back in the 90s? So you said they have three now. Like how many did
They had like 40 something, but now it's three today.
like throughout like all of like the Palestinian territories?
Yeah, before Israel was ceded on the land,
Yeah.
they had 40.
Yeah. But we can't talk about that because it's anti-Semitic to say that Israel can't just build settlements on land that isn't theirs.
Like the thing is, if your land, I think had an argument because the lady girl argued it was anti-Semitic because like it violates the like Jewish people's right to self-determination. No one's arguing that. If that's like here, the European colonists arguing we have the right to self-determination. Meanwhile, takes Native American land. Thing is, I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily saying it's the same, but the thing is, if that infringes on someone else's
Yeah.
right to exist on land they already been on, that's a major conflict. The thing
But
is,
isn't that right to self-determination thing? Isn't that more of a religious thing than an actual law thing? Or is
yeah, it's more so religious. It's like it comes from a like religious philosophy thing. Yeah, 'cause I've heard that. But the thing is, like, if it was inhabited land and Palestinians just moved in there, I mean, we
yeah.
wouldn't be having this kind of conversation there. The thing is, they've been there for thousands of years.
Yeah. And this it kind of relates to like, the conversation about religious freedom here in the States because, like there was that, baker in Colorado who refused to make a gay wedding cake. And, he used like his right to like, practice his own religion as he chooses as like as precedent for like why he didn't have to make a gay wedding cake. So but a lot of people would argue that, it the whole point of like freedom of religion is that you can practice your own faith unimpeded, not so you can use your faith to impede on others. And this that argument can very much relate to this because yes, I would say that the Israelis do have the right to self-determination, but that doesn't mean impeding on the human rights of others just because they feel like it and just because their interpretation of the Jewish text says so.